Hey, I'm Caitlin, the founder of Squads, and this is Squad Life. Squad Life is our weekly mini-series where we talk about the ups, the downs, and the oh fucks of being an entrepreneur. And today we're talking about a pretty controversial topic. It's a hot topic, one that I think you guys are going to be interested in, and that is copycats. So this is something you see a lot in the online space. There are so many businesses that look like other well-known businesses. And you hear a lot of people complaining that somebody's, stealing their ideas, copycatting their course, creating a very similar course, even having a very similar logo to the fact where it looks like a carbon copy, or even stealing their sales copy word for word. So what's going on? Why are there so many copycats in the online space, and what can you do about it? And should you be worried about it if somebody's copying you? So I wanted to share kind of a couple stories here. So I just got back from San Francisco, and while I was there, I met with this founder. His name is Matt Dory, and this guy is like the Mark Zuckerberg of Canada. So he built his first company when he was 11 years old, lived in Calgary, sold that company years later, and has gone on to create this amazing space in San Francisco. They have the largest single-family home in all of San Francisco, and what they do there, it's a place called Factory, is they've seen that all of these big businesses like Nike, businesses like GE, businesses like, big oil and gas companies, they are struggling to innovate. And they're looking at all of these tech startups, and they're seeing how quickly those companies are going from, idea to product to product market fit. And they're being like, how do we learn some of that? How can we be more nimble in our approach to business? How can we think more like a startup and less like this big, huge corporation? And so what Matt does at Factory is he brings people into the space. He brings, maybe all the executives from Nike, and in a 3-day time span, they'll learn how to do rapid iteration, meaning they go from an idea through to a prototype, through to a functioning product in 3 days. He's got a maker space on site where you can actually build stuff, and you can do a software development on site. And so Matt's been doing this now for a couple of years. And as I was talking to him, I was like, what an innovative idea. So many companies need to learn the rapid iteration and rapid prototyping method. It's something that, Google's really famous for. If you're, at all familiar with the tech world, rapid iteration is pretty common. That's how you find what's called product market fit, meaning you start with something small, you test it, change it, and you do all of this as quickly as you can so that you can get to having a product that your market wants, aka product market fit, as quickly as possible before you run out of money. And so Matt's like, I'm going to teach this to big companies. I'm going to teach the Fortune 500 companies how to think like a startup, how to have that culture of quick iteration, quick prototyping, talking to their customers built into the fabric of the company. So he's been doing this for a couple of years now and has gotten huge acclaim for doing this. He's got 50 of the world's top 500 Fortune 500 companies working with him. But of course, immediately, there are copycats. So in San Francisco, there are 3 other organizations that have popped up. One of them, I think, is actually even named Factory, but it's spelled a different way or something. And they're trying to do the exact same thing Matt's doing. And when I asked him, does that bug you? How do you feel with that? He's like, at the end of the day, it's all about the vision. And they can copy what we're doing now, but they have no idea what's coming next. And that's our unique advantage. And I love that answer, because that's really part of what the copycat phenomenon is about. Ultimately, there's lots of people that are going to see what you're doing and be inspired by you and want to do something different and put their own spin on it and, try, and in some cases, just straight up steal the idea. But what they don't have, what you have that they don't have, is you're the visionary. You're the person that originally came up with this creative concept, and it's all on you then to execute and bring it to market. So another example of this I think is really cool is if anybody's been following Snapchat, you'll know that there's been 2 big announcements in the last month that are, if I was somebody at Snapchat, would be a pretty epic like change. So Instagram released stories. It's basically a carbon copy of Snapchat stories. They didn't even hide it. They're like, yeah, we like what they're doing. We did it too. And now Facebook is going to be launching their own version of stories. And they're doing it strategically. They're going into markets that Snapchat hasn't infiltrated yet. And they're going to try to get their version of stories to be the popular thing there first. So if you're sitting at Snapchat right now, you might be like, oh shit. Like, we created this cool thing. We took this new approach to, social media, and it caught on and people loved it. And now the incumbents, the Instagram and the Facebook, they're just copying us. They're doing the same thing. And you could think that Snapchat might be shaking right now and worrying like, what the hell are we going to do next? But guess what? They're not. Because Snapchat were the original people that recognized the trend in social media. They recognized that it was becoming so much more highly produced, so much less authentic. The connections were different. It was about like broadcasting, and they created a platform that made it easier to have authentic stories, to share little tips, to little snaps of your life. And now, because that's the methodology, that's the vision that they had for the ecosystem they wanted to create, they're creating something really cool that's new. So Snapchat is actually, from what I've read, going to be rebranding, and they're just going to be Snap. And they've come up with this new product, which are these goggles that you can wear, these sunglasses, that actually record what's going on and will publish it in real time on your behalf. And this is just such a brilliant example of them deepening the connection, listening to their customers, and realizing what people really love about Snapchat is that it's these in-the-moment pieces. It's these snap opportunities to see an inside picture at a business or a life, something that hasn't been highly manufactured like Instagram or hasn't been super produced like Facebook. It's like this real snapshot of a moment in time. And with the sunglasses, they're actually taking this to the next level, because you don't have to hold up your phone in front of your face and take yourself outside of the experience. With these new goggles, you can stay present in the moment while capturing it. And it just goes to show that this is an innovative company that is doing things differently. And Instagram and Facebook can copy the things that they're doing, but they don't have the thinking that Snapchat has about where the market's going. And because of that, well, like Instagram and Facebook will take market share away from Snapchat. I don't think Snapchat's going anywhere. I think that they're visionary in their approach, and that they're recognizing what people don't like in these other platforms, and they're coming up with a solution for it. So on that point, we had our own run-in with a copycat. So if you've been following along, we just launched Squads, and Squads is our mastermind community for women entrepreneurs. And we've been listening to our members at Vendive for months now and asking them what they want. And originally when we built Vendive, it was to give them this place where they could go and have authentic conversations, learn from each other, and build relationships. And through those relationships, they would build trust. And in building trust, they build their businesses. And the more that we've talked to them, we realize that what they want is us to deepen that even more. They want to be able to have real conversations, not just chat conversations through the interface, but like actually jump on calls with other people that are fellow entrepreneurs and share their business journey and get contextual feedback and really get ongoing support, the kind of support that isn't being offered in other online entrepreneur communities like Facebook groups or, through like LinkedIn groups, that sort of thing. So we started working on Squads back in March, and we launched our first closed beta trial with just a handful of our members. And then we launched our pilot in July. We learned a lot from the original beta. We launched the pilot, and we noticed, I'm following this other membership site. I noticed pretty quickly that after we put out some of our marketing materials, that they actually started making some big changes, and some big changes that felt really similar to like what we were going to. They rebuilt their website, and they really started shifting their messaging away from what they had been, what their value proposition had been, which was training, and toward community. And they even changed the hook on their website, and they're actually using a hook that is a tagline that we were using back in 2015. And because I'm part of their community, I also noticed that like a lot of the things that we were announcing around how we were changing the squads program and how it would evolve, I would see them announce something pretty similar, sometimes just hours later or days later. And at first I was like, what the hell? Like, they're straight up copying us. Like, how is it that they're coming up with, like, how is, like, what the heck? You know, but then I started thinking about it, and for one, they might not be copying us because there are some ideas that we had that we never actually brought to market, and we didn't share with anybody, that I've seen them since do. And what that says to me is that we are seeing the same trends, we're identifying the same problems in the market, and we're coming up with a similar solution to those issues. So like, they could think, had we released those things, that we were copying them. And so here's the truth. I think that the chances are we are both seeing a shift in the market, and we're picking up on that shift, and the way that we are delivering a solution is just different, but there's some overlap. So here's the shift. I've been saying this for a while, but I fundamentally believe that the market is moving away from content consumption and training as a way to sell. So like using content like ebooks, online courses, blogging, that sort of thing as your way to sell. And it's moving towards conversation-based marketing. So figuring out how you can have one-on-one conversations with people who could be your target customers, and using conversation as a way to really get to know your ideal customer. This is a trend that we've been watching for the last while, and this is the solution that we've built out with squads. And the reason that I'm not afraid of this other peer out there that I think, some people could say that they're copying, or they could say that we're copying them, is because we're coming at it with very different value proposition. We're going after different markets. And at the end of the day, I believe that our vision here at Squads is our unfair advantage. I know that we're a small, nimble company, that we can move really fast. I know that we have a vision for how we're going to bring this product to market that becomes our unfair advantage. So here's the thing. When somebody's copying you, I say, don't get angry. You want to kiss your copycats, because guess what? They're validating the market for you. They're creating noise. They're sharing a similar message. And ultimately, the people that are right for your business, they're going to find you if you're doing the right work in getting to them and having conversations with them. So yeah, that's it for today. My main takeaway from this is, don't worry about copycats. Stay in your own lane, stay focused on your own game, and recognize that if you are doing your work as a founder and you're really taking the time to listen to your customers and to give them what they want, to iterate rapidly like they're doing at Factory, and to recognize that like it's just all about creating value for your customer, watching where the market's going, and not getting focused on what you're supposed to do, and instead doing what feels right for you and your company, then you're going to be great. And there might be copycats, but they won't be able to duplicate you. You will still stand out in the market. All right, that's it for today. So yeah, as I said, we're just in the process of launching Squads now, and if you want to check it out, if you want to see what was so awesome that people felt the need to copy it, go to squads.vip and check out Squads, the membership community, the mastermind community for women entrepreneurs. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.